All right. Hello,
Here
everyone.
we are.
We are here. You are there. And together, we are
We're
everywhere.
back.
We're back. Yes, we are.
Yes, like the
Hello.
Matrix.
Yes, exactly, but better.
Yep.
Here we are. It is episode 10. We are officially in double digits.
Oh my God, it's like an
That's,
anniversary.
I know, it's pretty impressive. Yay, us. We did it. We survived. And we haven't run for the hills yet. So, whoop, 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 whoop. I
Yep.
wish
We're
we
just
had
gonna
like
keep on
some
going.
confetti or something that we can throw
Glitter
over
bomb.
the virtual air. Yes,
Like our favorite gift with the
yes,
I forget the name of the actor, but
exactly.
when he's like blowing the glitter everywhere, yes,
Like
that's us.
the magician that goes.
Ooh, yeah.
So
Great
yeah,
minds
here
right
we
there.
are.
Great minds.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you for sticking it out with us. Thank you for continuing to support us. And as we do now, that we didn't used to do before, we like to throw in a little early reminder if you're here and if you checked out any of our videos and if you found them helpful, like, share, subscribe. Please, please, and thank you. It helps us
Yes.
grow, it spreads the word, and it keeps the
Joy.
virtual lights on, kind of, sort of. There you go. So, yeah, help us on
Yeah.
our
And it keeps us
journey.
motivated to keep on keeping on and providing advice and helping you and building a community.
Exactly. We are on our journey to world domination, and you help us with
Hmm.
that. But it's like the
Yes, please.
most adorable world domination possible. So this is like the good kind. So you can help us with that by liking, sharing, and subscribing
Yes.
to our channel. We would really sincerely appreciate it. And spread the word. If you find it useful, share it with a friend. Sharing is caring. Hmm.
Yes. And the more the merrier.
Exactly. So I'm a little subdued today. As I told Sam, I have not yet had my coffee. So this is going to be interesting. So I'm going to
Yes.
hopefully
Yes.
borrow Sam's energy to get us through this episode. And
I'll try.
we've got this. We've got this.
Yes.
So we've got some
Sweet.
really awesome topics on the agenda for today. But first, as
Yes.
I want to do, because now I feel like it's our new tradition now, where I like to surprise Sam with our latest numbers because
Oh,
it's
it's like a
fun.
surprise Sam segment. Look at that.
It is.
Oh
And so I
boy.
want to share. Yes, what's up? You say wait?
Oh no. Nope. That wasn't me.
Okay. I was like, okay, I wait. Okay.
No.
So, Sam,
Yes.
as of this very moment, we officially have 244 subscribers. Whoop,
Whoa.
whoop, whoop.
Really? Because wasn't it just like
Uh,
208
it was a
yesterday?
220, it was 221 yesterday morning when we talked.
Oh, okay. Yesterday morning, 221. Oh, yesterday was Saturday. That's right. Okay.
And we are now at 244.
Oh my
244. Yeah,
God, we're getting
literally.
there. Holy crap.
Yes, we are. So thank you, new subs. Thank you, previous subs. Thank you, all of the subs, for being here with us.
Yes.
And thank you for your awesome support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We are so moved and
Just
excited.
thank you all around. Oh, also, we did a really quick random aside. Just by the time this airs and everything, I just want to we want to wish you all a happy new year, actually.
Yes, that's right, because this is going to air. Oh my goodness, this is our first episode of 2025.
Yeah,
Oh my
like
God, an
we can
eagle
all,
just flew past. Sam,
yeah.
this is a
Uh,
sign. I just saw an eagle fly past.
oh my God, you have the
And
best.
this
Wow,
is a
that
sign.
is
This is
like,
like a celebratory eagle. I swear on my life. I wish I could have taken a picture. An eagle
that's
just flew past.
amazing.
Wow. I'm stunned. Okay. This bodes well. This is good
This
tidings.
does bode well. I'm glad that
Oh,
you guys will
so
be
awesome.
bringing in the new year with us.
Yes. Yay. First episode of 2025. First eagle sighting.
I celebrated celebratory Eagle sighting.
And it was so crazy because usually all I see most often is seagulls. And so, but out of the corner of my eye, I'm just like, good God, that is a humongous seagull. And then I look over and I'm like, holy shit, it's not a seagull, it's a bald eagle. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. And that rhymed a little bit. It's
There
not
we
a
go.
seagull, it's a bald eagle. Wow, look
That
at
kind
us
of, yeah,
go.
that's like a Dr. Seuss rhyme right there.
Yeah, here we are, guys.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. You are the reason that we can keep this going. Okay, so yeah, there's no you, there's no us without you. There you go. This is what happens when
There
we
we
don't have
go.
coffee. I fixed it. I fixed it.
Yes, you did. I have to figure that one out when it involves letters or math. Like,
Only two letters, and boy, the struggle was real.
yeah, that's okay because I was trying to figure it out myself.
It's
I was
like
like,
we did it.
"Oh."
We landed that plane. All right.
Yes,
So back to the matter at hand. Yay! Woohoo! We are doing a
we.
very vigorous interpretive dance in our respective chairs. Just so you guys know to
Yes, just
celebrate.
imagine if you're Saturday Night Live with what was it? Now, why can't I not think of it? Oh, Sprockets. That's it.
There you go. That's us.
Just imagine
So,
us and the whole Sprockets ensemble.
mhm, because we're that excited of this new milestone. And again, think about this. If you're doing the math, 10 episodes equals roughly 2.5 months. We're not even at 3 months yet. And we started with 4 subscribers. And now we are at 244. That is fantastic.
I can't. I'm sorry. I'm just like in shock in a good way. I'm so
That
excited.
is so amazing. I'm still in shock over the bald eagle, so that makes two of us. So
Yeah,
there
look
we
at it.
go. Ta-da! It's like, aha, there you
Okay,
go.
should we announce the topics du jour?
I think we should. I think it's the perfect time to do that. Take it away, Sam.
Okay, so topic number one is how to quit a freelance job without burning bridges, which leads us
Mm-hmm.
into topic two, what makes a great editor freelancer. And then
Yes.
Nicole's segment, which we love, is resources. We both stumbled upon an excellent resource that we'll touch upon today. Uh,
Yes.
that kind
Our
of, yeah, that weaves into topics, our one and two topics.
yes, our stuff you can use segment. And I think
I'm
this is
looking
our
at my
joint
list,
stuff.
reading this off, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, this is a joint topic. I wouldn't just call it a me segment. It is an us
no,
segment
I know,
because
but this was
remember,
you,
no us
yeah,
without you.
that's just, I just
That's
meant
going to
the
be our new corny tagline.
resources section was your idea, and it's amazing and so helpful to everyone. So I just wanted to give
So
you props for
stick
that.
around. You're gonna love it. If you're trying to figure out how to get your freelance career started or jump started, great way to do it. We're gonna break it all down. And this is honestly, this is a perfect episode if you are like us and love editing and all things proofreading. If you are an editor or want to become an editor, this is yo episode.
Yeah.
It's all about you. Sure is.
And
So
also,
yeah,
Nicole and I discussed earlier with following episodes and everything will be encompassing more freelance type jobs as well. So not just editorial. So it'll apply across the board some of our episodes for resources and everything that we've stumbled upon.
absolutely. And I can tease this out a little bit. We're not going to tell you what it is, but next week's episode, we're going to actually cover freelancing in the blue collar space. So definitely want to
Yes.
tune in for that because, again, we are wanting to help you to start your freelance business, no matter what business you want to go into. This is not just white collar that we're going to cover. If you're into working with your hands and you're into doing something other than sitting in front of the computer like Sam and I do all day, we're going to talk about that too. So definitely check us out next week for episode 11. Whoop, whoop. And we're going to talk about that. And
Yeah.
all right,
Also,
with
I could
that,
ask
Sam.
Phil, my husband,
Yeah.
he's a blue
Oh,
collar
yeah.
worker. Yeah, for his thoughts because he was asked to be a field guide for fishing and stuff, and we were talking about it. So a little side freelance job. So yeah, I could
Bam.
ask his
There
input
you
as
go.
well.
I love it. See how everything comes together? I love it. There we go. Just on the fly like that.
Yes.
That's how we roll.
But bam.
So,
Yeah.
with that said, Sam, what do we want to kick things off with today?
I think how to quit a freelance job first,
Hmm.
just because it ties right into what makes a great editor,
And the timing's pretty
because
great if
that
you think about it. You know what I'm talking about.
oh, also, yeah, new year and everything and getting started. I know most people look at new year as a new perspective and starting over, but
Yep.
for me, it's better, as we talked about last week, better work-life balance, and I'm taking my time off to just reevaluate clients, everything to move forward. And yeah,
Yeah, that's really important. Something you just touched on. It's not always about the client making sure you're doing good work. It has to also be good for you. So you should always be thinking
Yes.
about whether the clients that you have in your portfolio actually are a good fit or a good match. If you have a client that's too demanding, that demands too many hours for very little pay, this is a good time of the year to
Yes,
determine whether you will continue with them into the new year.
because to your point, that's when contracts are renewed.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a one way street at all, guys. Keep that in mind. Remember, as a freelancer, you are in the driver's seat. That means that
Yes.
you are the boss, you set the terms. So you absolutely have the right to decide that either you no longer want to continue or you can renegotiate your contract. That's also a great time to do that. And obviously, and I know we talked about contracts a couple episodes back, but that's something you would want to put into your contract. You don't want to just spring it on them. If you want the option to negotiate your rate, you obviously want to set that out. But to that point, with this being a good end of year time, this is a time to do that. This is a time to reevaluate and reassess if these are the people you want to continue with.
Yes. And just remember, and this took me a while to learn, you're always worried about them liking you. Like touching upon
Right.
Nicole's points, you're worried about them liking you, but you have to remember you liking them is even more important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so just for me, it took a while to flip the script because I was like always trying to prove myself or going
Mhm.
above and beyond, which is a good thing, but I was terrified. What if I mess up and blah, blah, blah. But then I realized that I need to like them
Exactly. The
and
to me the
make sure
the
that I'm
thing.
being, yeah, treated the way I should be treated. And yeah. So that kind of just a quick aside is and also, like, with burning bridges, I think without burning bridges, I mean, it's also, like, fair treatment because I know a lot of places treat freelancers a lot different than
Mhm.
full-time employees, considering expendable, why include them in anything? It doesn't
Yep.
matter, they're just freelance, oh, they'll pick up the work if we c yeah. So just keep your eye on that sort of thing as well, because you just wanna put the kibosh on that
Yep.
right away.
Yeah, and to that point, and this is what made me really start looking at things differently. When I first started working for an agency, I found out that they call their temps, that the temporary, like people like us, we are considered talent. And when you think about it from that perspective, that really changes your mindset because you are the talent. That means that you are key to the role and the operation. And so don't think about yourself as a grunt or I'm just a freelancer. I'm just here to do a job. You're the talent. You have a specific skill set that they need. And that's why you are at the table. So keep that in mind and don't downplay or settle for less or allow things to happen to you that aren't right because you feel that you're less than. So just remember you're the
Yes,
talent.
and no one should make you
You're
feel less
yeah,
than.
exactly. So keep that in mind. Make sure that you don't ever sell yourself short. And that's especially important when it comes to deciding what clients you want to keep. You may have a client that pays really well, but they don't actually value you. And I'm in a similar situation without going into too many details where there's a couple of specific clients in my portfolio that pay very well, but treat me as an afterthought. And so around this time,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a good
okay,
time.
gotcha.
Yeah, you're picking up what I'm putting down. So this is a good time to determine whether you will continue to be seen as an afterthought or if you'll move forward without them. And that's okay because yes, great, the money might be great, but if you're always having to try to figure out when that is going to happen because they're not actually maximizing your use or your potential, you may want to move on and focus your energy somewhere that will maybe they pay a little less, but they're always valuing your work. They're keeping connected with you. They're making sure that you're regularly in the mix. That's worth more than
Yes.
an extra few bucks. I'm just saying.
Yes, because it's very disheartening
Mhm.
you're asked for your schedule and you put things on hold to accommodate this client and then either A, they don't let you know they don't need you, or and you're sitting there waiting, or at the last minute they change their mind and you could have taken on like another project.
Exactly.
And the thing is too, and this is to my detriment, and I drive my husband nuts with this, I'll count on the money. I'll be like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, so they need me for this many hours, so then I can budget with this amount of money, and then
Right.
bam, it didn't pan out whatsoever. So then it's my own fault for banking on that. Look at me, that was like banking on that.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I have to stop doing that, but that's something I'm working
That,
on.
you know what, you bring up a
But
really good,
yeah,
no, I was just, I'm glad you raised that because I think that would be a really great topic to talk about next week around budgeting and planning for the famine periods.
I'm writing
So
this down.
yeah, I think that that'll be like you touched on something that I think is something we need to tease out in a dedicated segment because that is such a thing that happens very often as a freelancer where and I don't want to give too much away, but essentially very much what you're saying is that you're counting on money that's not there yet. And that can be so
Yes.
detrimental. And it's not even about hedging your bets, it's about expectations, especially if a client tells you or says that they're going to need you. And so then you're scheduling that and you're mapping out your budget accordingly, and then it doesn't pan out. So let's
Right.
definitely talk about that next week. I'm not going to talk any more about it because I think that's going to be a really juicy topic. So, yeah, let's save that for next week.
And also, yeah, and also we can add into there because I just put it down is actually getting your payment.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
Okay, I'm just writing
absolutely.
this down because of my
Yeah,
brain.
and we definitely talked about that in one of the other episodes, and we'll expand on it. The reason why you
Yeah.
absolutely should not be doing paper payments. That's just we're not doing that anymore, guys.
Okay.
Like that,
No.
we're far
Nope.
too advanced.
Yeah, and
And
I'm just gonna
there,
put yeah. That's another thing. Is the new year contracts like to what to put
yeah.
in your
So yeah, let's
contracts with the
definitely get it.
to
We're gonna.
yeah
Those are some good topics. We're gonna definitely talk about those next week. So tune in because those are universal
yeah
topics that apply to anyone.
and
So yeah.
excellent. You are brilliant. Excellent too because we are it's the beginning of the year. So yeah, that is perfect
We bounce
to
off each other
starting
too.
your year off right. Yeah. So
We
okay,
are
perfect.
mutually inspirational to each other.
Yeah, so I'm giving you props for your inspiration. Yes.
Yeah, detail. Yeah, so that'll be good. Yeah, but to the point, you and I know that especially because of how cyclical freelancing can be, it's easy to say maybe just in case I'll keep them on the books because you're hoping that things will turn around. But you have to be able to read the signs and realize when you are the go-to versus an option, and sometimes you can be like the third, second, third, fourth, fifth string before they even
Yes.
top you and say, hey, we need your help on something. So you definitely want to make sure that you're looking for clients. And this applies whether you're editing or you're doing graphic design. Doesn't matter what type of freelance work this is, but you want to definitely have clients that have steady work available to you
Yes.
because that's otherwise you're not going to actually make any money unless you find a client that will pay you just
Hmm.
to do nothing, which is those jobs don't really exist, to be clear, unless you're an
That'd
actual
be great
employee and
though.
you're salaried, and that's a whole other thing that we're not going to really get
Yeah.
into. But generally, freelancing, you got to be working to get paid. So you want to make sure that you have clients that actually have work available for you. And if not, then start looking for new clients. This is a great time to start looking for new clients as well.
Yeah, because you don't want to be like stuck at the end of a roster, like to your point, Nicole,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
when
it's
you're yeah, like when your schedule's requested and then, boom, nothing. Yeah.
And to that point, because I know that the point of the topic was how to move on without burning bridges. So, what advice would you give our listeners about that?
I just think having like an open and honest conversation about why you no longer want to provide support. It doesn't have to be nasty or anything like that. I know in the heat of the moment, you could be like, thanks a lot. I really could have used this time.
And
Just,
another thing.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, don't do that.
But, I would do everything in writing. just so you have it,
Absolutely.
so no one can be like she was super nasty about no longer providing support. No. So yeah, I would just
Exactly.
say just a polite, honest, candid conversation of break it down because for future freelancing, maybe they won't do that anymore after learning. Or sometimes it
Absolutely.
may flip in your favor where they'll be like, oh, please know we really like your work and we'll guaranteed you're on our roster and each month we'll give you some set amount of hours. So sometimes it can work into your favor, but I always believe that honesty is the best policy. And don't just, in some instances, this is okay, but don't just never talk to them again. Like,
Right.
just give them, like, hey, I'm still here. But
Exactly.
yeah, so that's what I mean. That's really how I operate. And I didn't used to. I used to be like very quiet and I didn't want to say anything and I'll just keep on trucking with clients. But then I learned and put on my big girl pants that
Yeah, you did.
that it just for a mutually productive relationship, you really need to let your feelings be known as well. Whether if they want to end your contract on that, then they're not worth it if they can't handle the honesty.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that. And also, to that point, you may want to do it in stages. So maybe before you decide you're going to pull the plug, you approach the client and lay out your concerns or what your thoughts are regarding the current state of things. That could be a good time, especially if it's like towards the end of the year, to get feedback. How are
Hmm.
things going? That's a good way to reach out to them. Hey, I wanted to get your input on how you think things went this year, what could be better. And that could be a perfect segue for you to say, here's my thoughts on things. Because it could just be a matter of communicating what your concerns and your expectations are. And that could be easily resolved. Maybe you don't have to go as far as saying you're going to walk away. You could simply just say, here's what's not working. What can we do to improve this? What are your thoughts about X or Y? And I've done that before in certain cases where I was brought on as a freelancer and I expected to get a certain number of hours, but it wasn't happening. So I would approach the client and say, hey, we talked about these hours. Let me know X, Y, and Z. And then they would say, yeah. And then it turned out that we don't actually have as much work available, but we think we can do this. We understand if that's not feasible. So you may could work out where you put them on a lower tier and they're the fifth string in terms of
Yep.
availability, and you ramp up other clients that have more work available and they understand that you're not always going to make them a priority. So you could essentially keep them on the bench, but you don't have to necessarily always be
Yeah.
available to them all the time. So that could be an option you could try. And if that doesn't
Yep.
work, then
And they
yeah,
might
you
not
can.
even realize what you're doing. This is like a win-win thing. Like I said before, the mindset, oh, they're just a freelancer, they're available, they have other clients. So they might not
Exactly.
even realize what you're doing.
Yeah, and in some cases, because I've had this experience, they're thinking you are getting work because the people who are the full timers are supposed to be assigning you the work. And we talked about this like 2 episodes ago, right? Where people are trying to sabotage you because they feel threatened. And so they could be thinking, oh, you're
Yes.
getting the assignments, and they're getting reports back from their permanent folks. Oh, yeah, everything's fine, but they're not sending you anything. So that's also another
Yeah,
good way to
that's another
say,
thing too. It's like they suggest using you as a freelancer, but then a full-time employee is, no, I can do it
yeah, they're
myself. So then what they when they requested your schedule, that was the plan, but then all of a sudden it changed. So in that respect, it's
mhm,
not that's something they can't control. But
right.
yeah, it is sometimes it boils down to oh my God, I can't even talk. A territorial thing. And
Yeah.
that's not their fault in some instances, I will say.
Yeah, and then that if by you flagging it though, that could also open up the opportunity. Maybe they redirect who assigns you the work, and then that ensures that you're getting some assignments going your way because they know that the help is needed. So it's possible to work it out that way. If not,
Yeah.
then yeah, obviously you can
I think
always
sometimes
go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry, my computer keeps cutting out for some reason. So sometimes I think it's also full-time employees think it's a I guess I don't know if you'll agree with this, like a failure if they need help, like that they
Yeah,
feel that they can't handle their workload on their own. But
yeah,
it's not, like you're getting the help that you need. And that boils down to a quality issue. So,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that's definitely the case where they could feel like, oh, I have to do the work, and if I don't do the work, then I'm not living up to
yeah, it reflects
my
poorly on me. Yep.
expectations. Exactly. So, yeah, I completely agree on that. And to the point of if you do have to come to terms where you have to walk away, I will say that it doesn't always have to be because it's not a good situation. I have one really good example of a client that I had, loved working for them, but my schedule was getting, I couldn't balance it against all my other demands. And they were one of my lower paying clients. And so I had to make a decision because I didn't want the work quality to drop. And so I decided to let them know, unfortunately, my schedule right now doesn't allow me to be able to do this the way that I need and want to do this. So I'm going to have to step away. And because I was very forthcoming and they were really happy with my work, they told me that anytime I wanted to, they would be happy to have me come back on when I was available. And I came back to them last year. I reached out and they were super happy to have me back. And I've been working with them since. So that's why it's important to approach it in the right way. If it's a client you want to do work for in the future, to be clear, and I'm not saying that if it's not someone you want to work for in the future, that you should burn it all down. But if it's some client that you like, that you have a great relationship with, there's a way to do it in a way that leaves the door open. You let them know you appreciate, you value the work. Unfortunately, circumstances, whatever the case is, let them know and you leave that door open. And because of that, I have a high rating on Upwork because I'm still doing work with that client. So you never want to burn bridges when you can avoid it.
Yes.
It's not always avoidable. And the reason why you want to be able to do that is because the circles are small. We talk about this a lot. The freelance circles, especially when it comes to editing or creative work, are very small. So it's not like a thing where you're like, oh, I'll just go with another agency. Agencies talk, people talk. And if you ruin your reputation simply by
Mhm.
mishandling an end of a project or a contract with a client, that can come back to haunt you and then you could be blackballed. So you want to make sure
Yes.
that you're, as much as possible, doing things the right way so that you don't fall into that trap.
Yes. And also doing, what word am I looking for here? Being tactful and mindful also opens the door for reconnecting.
Hmm.
Say you're in your famine period, you could reach out again and be like, hey,
Yep,
would you be interested? Do you need any help? I'm available. My schedule is pretty clear, so I could devote more
exactly.
time. So always leave the door open for that because I've had too many times just reach out to clients and it actually worked like positively because we left the door open.
Exactly.
There were
So,
no hard feelings. Yeah.
exactly. So that's definitely keep that in mind. Those are tips that we've used. We use them all the time successfully, and you will find you'll have a lot less hassle and stress if you go about it the right way. And yeah,
And also don't second guess yourself, like always go with your gut. If you
yeah,
feel that the relationship is not in a good place, go with your gut because it also affects your mental health as well.
exactly. So keep that in mind.
If you're constantly being like turned away or yeah. If I go quiet, it's just my computer keeps cutting out. I'm not like being sitting here in awkward silence or anything. It's just my computer like every couple of minutes. Yeah, I think it's because I have a new browser after
Oh,
yesterday. So
yeah,
yeah, Friday,
computer
yeah.
behaviors.
I
Behave
was being a
yourself,
jerk
Sam
today.
computer.
Yeah,
Yeah, stop misbehaving. We're trying to do
I
something
know.
here.
That would be it.
Being very rude.
I might have to have a not so nice discussion with it
Yeah,
and burn the bridge with
get
this
it together.
computer. Yeah.
Get it together, dang it. Right now.
Yes.
Unacceptable. All
All right.
right. I think we've talked that topic pretty at length. So I think I'm comfortable switching gears a little bit, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, that's
Do you want to talk about the resource now
I
or at the end?
do.
Okay.
I do. Let's do a sandwich. I think the sandwich works well.
Yes.
So Welcome to our Stuff You Can Use segment. It's mostly alliterative. I like it. We can't find an S word for use, so we're just going to stick with it. It makes more sense. Yes,
I like it.
stuff you can use. Today, we have an awesome resource that Sam came across that we both signed up for because it is that awesome. Sam, tell them about the resource and I'll freestyle and riff and add some things in there.
Yes. So I just lost my page, but hold on. I
Okay.
stumbled
Well,
upon, oh, I found it. The Editorial Freelancers Association.
boom.
I just was doing a search and this popped up, and it is an excellent resource, actually. Nicole
Yes.
researched it further and learned it was established in the 70s, actually.
Right.
They
That's
have,
awesome.
yes, even before I was born, like I said, which makes me feel a little better. It has so much good stuff, like editorial rates, how to start out your editorial business,
Yes.
all sorts of courses and books. And there's a segment of so you want to be an editor. So there's introductory courses, recorded webinars, chapter meetings, actually,
Mm-hmm.
diversity initiatives for inclusive editorial practices, information on like local colleges for certificates. Yeah, so much stuff. I'm looking for the whole shebang here. But
Yeah.
yes, yeah, so it's been in business for 50 years,
That's pretty awesome.
and they recently surpassed 10,000 jobs shared with members. So
Whoa.
there's also a
And then,
member directory where clients can search for the right freelancer for their job. And if you join, you can customize your profile, highlighting your skills, experience, and areas of expertise. So quick hits for clients searching for certain skill set. Yeah, so I think the whole year membership was you can sign up as a guest to access like the
yep.
webinars, or you can join with the full membership, which is $145 a year, which I think is great because it's like you figured out it's $12.04
Yeah, it's like
per month.
$12.08 a month, which is fantastic when you think about it. Like, guys, like we always say, we spend a lot more on a lot less. So you can afford to spend $12 and some change a month on this
Yeah,
is
and
awesome.
it's a write-off.
Yes,
So,
exactly. And if you want to do a 2-year membership, it's
and also we are not
$260.
like,
No, go ahead.
and we are not like sponsored by
We are
this
not.
at all. We just stumbled upon it and wanted to share it with you because there's just so much stuff on here that I wish I had seen beforehand.
Seriously. It's awesome. So yeah, highly recommend. The website is the article the-efa.org. I swear, no matter what I do, I'm gonna put the link in this daggone description if it's the last thing I do, because I never do it. But I'll do it this time. And if I don't, guys, call me out on it. -efa.org. That is the name or the website. Just do a search for Editorial Freelancers Association. Really like it. Like I said, Simon and I both signed up. It gives you the ability to hire a freelancer. So if you're someone who's looking for a freelancer, they have a directory available that you can submit a job listing. And on the flip side, if you are a freelancer looking for work, you can actually submit your profile and you can actually look for work. And the other really cool thing that I like, so that this is something that I'm definitely going to look into, they have regional chapters. So they have different chapters across different locations and states, and you can sign up for your local chapter and get involved that way. A lot of really cool resources, a lot of cool education materials that they have available. If you want to become an editor, if you're a new author, what rates you should be setting for yourself if you are an editor, or and also an estimator, which I think was pretty cool, where you can estimate what your rate should be. So definitely check it out if you're starting out, you don't know where to start being in terms of editing and how to get your foot in the door. This is a fantastic resource. Highly recommend. Definitely check it out.
And they also have on the other side hiring basics for clients,
That's awesome.
the rates that they should be offering to actually know what skill set you're looking for. They can require samples of your work or have the editing test. and all the guidelines, and so they vet all the employers.
That's amazing.
And there's like publishers looking for editors. I'm just looking at the client list. There is a lot of really good client lists, especially a lot of best-selling authors use this as well.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, this is a really fantastic resource, guys, if you're really interested in getting your start in editing. This is a great resource. I would recommend this is your first stop when you're getting started because it's just got a wealth of information
Yes.
and you know that they're reputable because they've been around for a long time. And I really like their origin story because it started with two editors who branched off from a publisher called Grove Press. And they had gone on strike and they decided to just branch off on their own. I feel like us. We're like two editors were like, yeah, we're going to do this because we know people need help navigating and figuring out what the hell to do when it comes to freelancing. And yeah, that was pretty cool to see like a similar origin story. And the rest is history. And that'll be us talking about this. And looking back, hey, Sam,
Yes.
remember when we were like, we should do a podcast and here's what we should talk about. And then look at us now.
Yes. Episode 10. And we're learning new
Hey,
things every time, which is
yes, we
awesome.
are. So, yeah, check them out, the EFA.org, Editorial Freelancers Association. Don't forget the hyphen, but if all else fails, just do a search, Editorial Freelancers Association on Google.
Yep.
It won't let you down. You'll find it. Because I'll probably forget to put the link,
Oh yeah.
being totally honest.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I'm
it
going to try
also
not
has
to.
work from home tips too.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty cool. And then it tells you what all the benefits
And job
are.
postings that you can.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool, very cool resources and benefits. It even tells you what the benefits are to joining as a member. So check it out, guys. It's really cool if you're into editing as we are. You will love this. Yep. And they even have affiliate discounts. So if you join as a member, then you have access to discounted rates for services for your business. So yeah, totally amazing. We are definitely going to check it out. We'll keep you posted as to once we get into it. Oh my goodness, they're after my own heart. They have a monthly stat talk, Sam. This is
Oh my
awesome.
God. We need to go
So
and wear shirts that say "Step this."
we do. We do. This is amazing. Oh my God. This is so cool. Okay. We're going to have to definitely check this out. Yeah. Okay. We're trying not to go down the rabbit hole, but yeah, this is an awesome resource. So for all of our
Yeah.
editor people listening, definitely check this out. Editorial
And we
Freelancers
can learn together.
Association. Exactly.
Yep.
So keep us posted. Let us know if you do sign up. How has it gone so far? Any success stories you want to tell us about? Any
And maybe some
findings
of
or
you have already
discoveries?
signed up and have heard of this. So yeah.
Yeah,
So if you have any tips or any
exactly.
information for us, that would be awesome as well. So we could do a whole
Hmm.
sharing, like sharing is caring session of
Dang
what
straight.
worked for
Hmm.
you and what people should avoid.
Yeah,
And so that would be awesome.
agreed. So yeah, Editorial Freelancers Association stuff you can use. Boom. And I think
Love
that's a
it.
good little segue into our next topic. It's actually
Yeah.
pretty relevant.
Yep. How to be a great editor. Just, and I don't mean just skills. Like we talked before, not burning bridges, but the whole, what word am I looking for? Oh my God. My mind just went on a stroll through a field of puppies, kittens, and cake.
Nice.
I
That's like the
know.
best kind of field ever. Oh my God.
I
Sounds
know.
amazing.
Integrity is where I was going. Um,
Yes.
as you, yes, as you build your reputation, the burning bridges feeds into this. Just for your reputation, integrity, honesty, don't take on a job and then at the last minute change your mind. Always be available and keep your promises, so to speak. Yeah, I think if you, I guess it reflects on other freelancers as well, because I think it makes people hesitant
Yeah,
to hire a freelancer if they have a bad experience, and you don't want to be that bad experience.
exactly. So that is so key. And this obviously, the key elements of being a great editor apply to any role, if we're being fully honest. Because if you want to be
Oh
great
yeah.
at what you do, these are fully translatable, to be clear. So don't think, oh, they're talking about editors aboard. No, this applies to you as well. Because, like, first and foremost, whenever you're starting in any field, the first thing you're going to do is learn it. So you want to become the best, the absolute best is what you're doing. And so that requires practice. As I mentioned in my origin story, I started in the writing center. And the more students that I helped, the better I got because I was sharpening my skill set. So that applies, that is 100% translatable to anything. And there are so many free resources nowadays. Honestly, there's no excuse for learning or getting more knowledgeable about the area that you're interested in. Like, for example, you're probably listening to this on YouTube. Hey, here we are. Hello. This is a great resource and platform to learn and improve your skills. So if you want to learn to become a better editor, study up on it. There's never too late to learn a new skill. So study, learn, research, practice. Check,
Yeah.
use your family and friends as guinea pigs, as long as it's not going to harm them. If you're going to
Yeah.
do freelance baking, maybe make sure the food is fully cooked before you serve it to them. That's
Yeah.
important.
I
Just
like
keep
it.
that in mind. But yeah, so research and study up on what area you want to hone in on. So that's important. So obviously attention to detail. Do you see the translation there? Like it's not just editing. You have to have attention to detail to be a great editor. And I'm pretty sure that applies to almost anything else. Wouldn't you agree, Sam?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So don't be
Yeah.
afraid to. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
Don't be afraid to like offer new ideas or process suggestions. Just because you're freelancing doesn't mean you don't have a voice, so to speak.
Exactly.
And I think they would appreciate that, especially as they hire more and more freelancers. Yeah, don't like if you have a contrary viewpoint or a different standpoint, so to speak, or any ideas. I think they would appreciate that because you're making it easier for them and yourself. And I think it also builds trust in a way,
Yep.
like that you're willing to provide feedback and dive in and just be more part of the process and part of the team instead of
Yes.
just being like, oh, I'm just freelance help.
Absolutely. The To me, the other thing that I think also helps and is the editorial test to me is those are a great way to sharpen your skill even if you're not actually in the market. To periodically take editing tests, I think, is a great way to gauge where you are or maybe areas you could improve upon. And the only thing that's unfortunate about this is that if you're taking an editorial test for a job, they won't always give you feedback. So I'm thinking more editorial tests that you can get online and get like a really good gauge of how you did. And I don't know any off the top of my head, but I'm sure if you did a search for editorial tests, you could find something that would help with that. So I would just keep that in mind. Just and don't be afraid to start at the beginning either. I know that, for example, there's a book like the For Dummies series. They actually do a book that's grammar for
Oh yeah,
dummies. So that is a great primer if
and
you're
I
just
actually
starting.
own that.
There you go. If you're just starting out, it's okay to just start at the very beginning because that's typically where you're going to start anyway.
Yes.
So don't be afraid to get those beginner rudimentary books or resources to really just get you moving ahead to more advanced type of work. And that's totally okay. The other thing that
Yep.
is
Like
important that makes a great editor, we've talked about this before, communication. Really
yep.
vital. Don't ghost your clients, please, guys. Don't
Mm,
be
no.
afraid to be like, put on your big girl, big boy, big, just put on your big pants, your big adult pants,
That
put them on, and
Yeah,
get
big
in
adult
front
panic.
of any delays that you're anticipating. Get in front of them. Don't hide under the proverbial
Yeah.
covers. Don't avoid the emails. Don't
Mm-mm.
ignore the calls. Please just communicate. I
Especially if you
promise.
can't, like,
Yeah.
oh, to your point, if you find yourself behind and can't meet a certain deadline, let them know as soon as possible.
Yes, exactly. So that's important. And that, again, if you're a contractor and you're building someone's deck or something, it's important. If you don't think you're going to finish by the timeline, you got to let them know that. It's the same difference, same thing, same situation.
Oh yeah,
Communicate.
community.
Do it. Yes. So
Also, I
that,
think
yeah.
adaptability is another one as well.
Yes.
To adapt to unexpected situations while working on a project.
You've got
It works both ways, being adaptable.
the good old, one of the favorite corporate buzz terms, the good old pivot. The pivot,
Oh yes,
right?
pivot.
Of course, all I think about is that scene from Friends where they have the couch that they're trying to take. Was it like put it through the door or up the steps where they're trying to do? They have where he's screaming
Yes.
pivot. That's all I think about whenever I hear that word, and it makes me
Oh my
giggle
God,
at
it's so
times.
funny. I forgot about that. When I hear pivot, I think of Excel and pivot tables because that's something I will never understand, and it gives me nightmares.
Oh no. So yeah, there you have it, folks. You've got to be able to pivot, as terrifying as it can be in some cases. You've got to be able to adjust, and sometimes you've got to make changes on the fly. And that also makes a great editor because it shows that you are flexible. Now, be clear, there is a
Yes,
difference between
that is the
being
word I was actually
flexible.
looking for.
Yeah, but to that point, there's a difference between being flexible and being a doormat. Big difference, guys.
Exactly.
So back to the original point that we talked about, when you are not even an option, where you're just sitting there hoping at any point that someone will say anything to you. And that's different. That's not being flexible. That's just being taken advantage of. So know the difference between flexibility and what's the word I'm looking for? Exploitation. Ooh, yeah, that's a good word. Know the difference
Yes,
between
yes,
flexibility and
that's a good
exploitation.
one.
It's important because it will definitely eat at your peace of mind if you're being taken advantage of. If someone
Oh
is
yeah.
telling you, oh, make sure that, yeah, you're available and make sure you let us know if anything changes, but then they don't tell you if anything changes, it just goes to you.
Yes, and
Yeah, that's not cool. Not cool. Not cool at all.
no, I was
So
just gonna say
being
not cool,
flexible.
and you just did it. Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's,
also to that.
yeah,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no,
My
I
computer,
hadn't.
since it keeps cutting out, I think I have, and I sorry, so sorry about that. Also, don't be afraid to ask questions if you don't understand the assignment, even if you think the questions are stupid. Nothing is stupid. They want the project to be done correctly. So, of course, I don't think they'll think any question is stupid. I've asked some doozies,
Absolutely.
and they've
Absolutely.
humored me just because sometimes it doesn't translate well over Teams or over email. I think you really need to talk to someone in person just to make
Yeah.
sure.
No, that's a really good
Especially
point.
yeah, especially if you're doing like a fact check and they link you to like SharePoint, but things aren't highlighted correctly or things may not be there that you need. Don't be afraid to ask. Be like, "Hey, I'm not quite sure of your process. I'm used to doing it this way." And they'll be happy to explain anything to you because they know that will help their project along.
Exactly. And also, to that point, don't be afraid to ask questions. I do feel like that's a markings of a great editor, and again, any other freelance role in general, because thinking that you should know something but you're not sure about or are unclear on, and if you allow that to prevent you from asking the question, and it was a pretty critical point of clarification that takes you in the wrong direction of a project, that's horrible. I would
Oh
rather
yeah. It's,
I would rather ask the question, even if I think it's a goofy or silly question or that I should know it, than to assume I know the answer and then go way down the wrong path and it turns out like, oh, that's not at all what I had wanted. I wanted it the other way. And you spent all of this time doing the project the wrong way. So that is to me a hallmarks of a great editor or a great freelancer, not being afraid to ask
Yeah.
questions.
And also, I think I know that this has happened to me before. If I don't understand something, I tend to put off that project.
Yeah.
So as I've learned over my career, like we just said, like asking the questions, I'm like, I'll be like, personally, what's wrong with me? I don't understand this, and then I'll just push the project aside. Don't do that.
Absolutely.
Like
Don't
I
do
don't
that.
do that anymore. But when I was first starting out, I wanted to prove myself, and I thought, oh, they're gonna think I don't have the capacity or the ability to do this project, and they won't use me again. I think they would
Yeah,
respect you more if you just ask the question right away and then dive right into the project.
exactly. Keep that in mind. That is definitely something to, it's a critical aspect of being a great editor and a great freelancer. And also to, you alluded to this earlier, Sam, integrity. That is such, that to me is like the
Yes.
foundation of any great editor, any great freelancer. Integrity, integrity. It is so important because I feel like everything else flows out of that. If you are a freelancer that is a freelancer of integrity, you're going to not overcharge. You're not going to bu- buffer. Is that what I, no, pad, not
Yes.
buffer. That doesn't sound right at all. I was going to say
Well,
something
that
like,
actually could apply too. But yeah, pad. Yep.
you're not going to pad your hours. You're
Mm,
not going to say
mm.
you did work that you didn't do. You're not going to badmouth other people just because you don't like them. Whatever I'm talking about there. Anyway, you
We're not
when you
familiar with
have
that at
in,
all. No,
not at all, not at all. I don't even know where that came from.
no,
When
me
you are,
neither.
when
That
you
you just
are,
pulled that one out of the air.
yeah,
Yep.
it's just random, just so random. But seriously, when you are a person of integrity, everything else flows out of that. And I kid you not, I do 100% believe that it comes back to you in a good way because other opportunities will open up because you're not trying to be a cheat, you're not trying to scam
Yes,
people,
exactly.
you're being 100% honest, you're being upfront, and that comes back to you in a good way. And also, clients appreciate it. Don't say, the dog ate your homework or your computer exploded and that's the reason
I
that
think
you
mine's
didn't get
about
back
to,
there.
but yeah, like,
Real true story in this
yeah.
case.
Don't
But
make up things if you can't finish a project. Like, yeah.
exactly.
To
Don't,
Nicole's point, don't like make. And also
yeah,
too, regarding padding time, this just came to me. Make sure you talk to them in advance of how you bill in increments of time. For
yeah, that's
example,
so
if I'm
important.
doing something and it doesn't take quite half an hour, but I bill for half an hour. I do half an hour to hour increments. So
Yeah,
I let them know up front and they think that's fair.
yeah,
Because I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to bill for 43 minutes. No, I'll either round up or down.
exactly. You just have to follow whatever the guidance is that they provided. Some of them like to do bill in 15-minute increments. I have actually seen 5-minute increments, which is wild to me, but it is what it is.
Wait,
So
what?
it's,
Really?
yes. That was
Wow.
literally my response. I think I actually said it in Spanish and was like, "Okay, okay, all right, sure,
Oh my God, I remember that. I actually remember that when we discussed that because you were like, "What the?"
all
Yeah. Oh my
right,
God. Yeah.
okay." That's some straight nickel and diamond crap right
Like,
there,
how would
guys.
you
I'm
like?
sorry. That's just
I
crazy.
made $5 on.
Woohoo! Yeah, I did
Yeah.
it.
And it
But
all,
yeah,
if you do the round up and down, it all evens out in the end. So there's no like, no one would ever accuse you of padding, like because if you
exactly.
round down and round up, like it'll all even out.
Yep. So just follow the rules of the whatever the rules of engagement you've established with your client, follow that. Like I said,
Yes.
just be a person of integrity and this like the good stuff will come to you. But then on the flip side, if you're not, guess what's gonna come for you? The bad crap all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. And nothing, no work. Yep. That's what's gonna come to you is no work. Like,
Exactly. And something to the point, and I mentioned on the one side of that, if you're just starting out, you want to study up, you want to learn, you want to refine and sharpen your skills. Another sign or quality of a great editor and freelancer, and I'm just going to say freelancer because I feel like all of this is translatable. Everything we've touched on translates
oh,
to
I
any
totally agree.
other
Yeah.
role that you're looking at as a freelancer. So, to me, the other key is lifelong learning. There's no such thing as learning everything there is to know about a role. Like, I don't believe in that at all. So, there's always something more you can learn, there's always something more that you can sharpen or just expand your skill set. So, sure, you might be an editor, but maybe you only edit in one particular area. Why not learn an additional area? Why not learn STEM if you're not in that
Yes.
space? And STEM, for those of you who don't know, let's see if I'm getting it right: science, technology, engineering, and math. The T, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
The T
There
is
you go.
something technical.
I was looking it up
Mhm.
because I was like, I don't think I know
What's
that.
so? What was the T? Is it technical?
Hold on one second. I just closed out.
We're
Mm.
so good over here, guys. Look at us go. We've been doing this for what, 30 years on either side combined, and
Yeah,
we
you were
can't.
right. Science, technology, engineering. Yeah, technology. Yep.
Whew, wow, what a prize I am.
Oh, also there's now STEAM, which they added
Ooh,
arts with the A. Yep. To
nice.
enhance the
Okay.
STEM framework with creativity.
Okay, I love that because I think we are both steamers, if you think about it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay. So yeah, science,
Yeah, and to your
technology.
point, like I started
Yeah,
out in publishing, but ended up expanding my skill set to pharma.
there you go. So definitely broaden your skill sets because the broader, and don't take this to mean that you should specialize in everything because that doesn't work either, but definitely
No,
want
that's
to
yeah.
do more than just one. I would recommend 3 to 5 areas. I think that's a reasonable amount. You don't want to do
Yeah, I
everything
agree.
because everyone isn't going to do everything. Just ask a former client when I was trying to do engineering journals and I thought I wanted to gouge my eyes out. So, yeah, not every, you don't have to specialize in everything. Just pick 3 to 5 that you can do really well, and some of them overlap. So to me, you can be doing, if you're doing science, that there's a lot of overlap with medical and pharmaceutical. So it translates pretty well, and those can be interchangeable. So just keep that in mind.
Yes.
So definitely, I'm gonna try to see if I can at some point, or maybe what I'll do is I'll try to put this list together of the qualities that we mentioned because I feel like that might be helpful, like, maybe we'll put it into a bulleted list and highlight them for you, or maybe we
Yeah, I
won't.
like that idea.
But maybe we will, who knows? After the episode airs,
Yeah.
maybe we'll put that out there. So,
It's a crapshoot. Yeah.
who knows? What will we do? No one knows, but we'll
Yep.
find out together.
You don't even know. Like,
That might be helpful because I
but
do
to
feel
Nicole's
that,
point with these, yeah,
yeah.
I mean, with the 3 to 5 skills you suggested, that opens up so many more
Mm,
opportunities,
totally.
freelance opportunities for you. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then even just thinking about if you just want to do book editing, there's different genres of books. So it's not just one genre. So you want to pick a couple of genres that you can specialize in. The approach that you take for fiction is not the approach that you take for nonfiction. If you have a
Yeah,
special
exactly.
like subgenre that you want to focus on, and you can go down a rabbit hole pretty quickly. So, obviously there's romance that you can work on, and that takes a different kind of skill set and hat. You can do technical manuscripts, and if that's what you want to work on, that takes a specific kind of skill set. So you just have to decide what you want to specialize in and then hone in on those areas. And I'm thinking it's probably the same
Yeah.
thing with, let's say, I refer to photography a lot just because I feel like that's like easy in terms of being able to like see the parallels. If you want to do photography, don't maybe you don't just specialize in weddings, maybe you also do other events. You don't want to just
Yeah.
pigeonhole yourself because then that's going to limit the number of clients that you can have. Unless you like a wedding photographer to the stars, then sure, then you can just make that an exclusive thing. But if you're just regular Joe Schmo like us, you probably want to open yourself up to more than just one area, right? So just keep that in mind in terms of what you should be focused on.
And I
Of
also feel
course,
that,
no, go ahead.
oh, my computer again. I also feel like having different skill sets and different, the 3 to 5, it keeps you from being bored or stuck in,
Yeah, definitely.
a sort of
Yeah,
silo, so to speak.
absolutely.
It keeps the creative juices flowing as you're pivoting from different
Pivot.
pivoting from different, say you're doing like publishing, pharma, book editing,
Exactly.
manuals, fact
Mhm.
checking, all sorts of things. I think it keeps you fresh in your mind and brain going.
Yes, completely agree.
Stagnant was the
So,
word I was going.
ooh, there
Like
it
you don't want
is.
your freelancing
Stagnant.
career to be stagnant. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely keep that in mind. And then also something that you can think about, you can decide like the way that, for example, you may decide that there are certain things that you want to only offer, like there you don't have to offer clients everything. And what I mean by that is, yes, I edit, I have freelance clients, but for the writing, that's just something I do for myself. And so you may decide that there are certain things that you don't want to make available as an offering to your
Advertise.
client.
Yeah.
There you go. But you could still make money off of those things. And we alluded to that last episode where we talk about stuff you can use. If you don't know what we're talking about, you're going to have to go check out episode 9. We're not going to talk about it
Kind
here.
of like
Nope.
value adds, so to speak.
Exactly. So there's ways that you can segment out, there it is, you can segment out your skill set and determine, okay, these are the things I want to offer in my portfolio. These are the other things that I'm still going to use to make money, but I'm not going to offer them to the public, so to speak. So there's definitely ways that you can chunk out your skill set and decide that this I'm going to market, but I'm not going to market it out to my clients. But this over here is like freely available for client use. Yes, there it is. And I think
Yeah, especially to that point, say you're on an assignment and you're in the Teams chat and someone may be like, "Oh, do you know someone who could do such and such?" And you can be like,
yep,
"Oh, I do." And like there you go. Value add.
exactly. Boom. Yeah, keep there's the thing, the bottom line is you can absolutely be at the top of your field. You just have to keep some specific guidances in mind. And I think if you take all of this that we shared with you here, these qualities or these attributes of what makes a great freelancer, I'm just going to say freelancer because I feel like that's where we're at now. But these qualities of what make a
Yeah.
great freelancer, that will help you land more clients because you will have a reputation that precedes you in the best way possible.
Yes. That's what you want.
Damn
And
straight.
then that the whole client base thing stems from that. Oh, STEM, look at that.
Oh, nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like
Thank
it.
y'all.
Hmm.
Woo.
I think we've covered a lot.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And now we
So
even have our topic set up for next
we
week
do
too.
only vaguely remember what they are, but we do. Yes.
Oh, I actually have them written down. Look at me go.
Nice.
Budgeting
Oh my,
and payments and getting your payments on time.
nice. So that's what we're going to talk about next week, guys. So definitely be sure to tune in. And don't forget to share and subscribe. Because why? Because there's no us without you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And with you helps keep us going.
Oh, I like that one too. There you go. There it is. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, sometimes
You
I
just
come
me.
out with good things and sometimes I do not.
I was
But yeah,
I was impressed by that. I rather enjoyed it. So thank you.
thank
Hmm.
you. And but thank everyone for helping us reach episode 10.
Yes, episode 10. I couldn't think of something that rhymed with it. Episode 10.
Hmm.
You are our friend.
Oh,
Oh, no.
I'm like actually thinking, yeah,
Why is it this difficult? Episode 10.
this up. We 10-year anniversary gift. We could go with our 10 episode anniversary gift, which is tin or aluminum, which symbolize strength and resilience.
There we go. Episode 10 and 10. 10
Yes.
and 10. 10 and 10.
There
Hmm.
you go.
There it is, guys.
10
That's all we could
aluminum.
come up
No,
with.
that doesn't work. Yep.
Yeah, to be fair,
10
I'm
is
not
Zen. That's the only
caffeinated.
thing I got.
I'm not caffeinated, to be fair, so that may or may not have something to do with my inability to rhyme
No,
anything with the
I
word
still think
10.
you're doing really well over there. So yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out something that rhymes with 10, and I can't come up with anything.
I'm
That's
trying to think.
disappointing.
I'm trying to think of that myself. I'm like, why can't I will think of like thousands of them
Oh,
after
once we get off the phone, as soon as we jump off. Episode 10,
I'll be
now
like,
and
oh,
then.
oh, damn it. Oh, you know what? Pen.
Yeah. So, yeah, episode 10 in
Use
the
your
pen.
pen to write down episode 10. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Oh, this is so terrible. And I
I
should,
don't think you.
like, episode 10. You're our friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're
I
going to
give
go
it.
with. That's the best we got.
Yeah, we're gonna go. I like that one. I like that one.
Yeah. There you go. Virtually
I looked it up
speaking.
just to see, and one of them that came up was Shen. So, if your name
There
is Shen, you rhyme with our
you go.
episode.
There you go. Shout out to Shren. Shout out to you.
Shout out to Shen. Shout out.
I think this
All
need to
right.
just play
Yes, I
ourselves
think we
out.
need to sign off now and go caffeinate ourselves.
This is when they play us off the stage.
Yeah,
To
where
get
the
us
curtain
off
goes down and does not come back up for an encore. Yeah.
before they start with the lettuce and tomatoes.
All right,
So
everyone.
we're gonna stop while we're behind. We thank you so much for joining us for another episode. You're amazing. Thank you for getting us to 244 subs. Here's to 244 more. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. And we'll see
Thank you.
you really
Thank you.
soon.
And Happy New
Bye.
Year.
Yes, Happy New Year
Bye.
2025. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Bye.
It's the best year ever. Okay. Bye bye.